What is going on, my wonderful people? Welcome back. Yeah, it's back to another, not reaction, but more of a, what they used to call them back in the day, like a video response. Is that what it is? So, one of the channels that I follow for Power Ranger stuff is called The Fan Club. Dude is very nice on there. He's very positive. He loves the fandom. He came back with Beast Morphers and kind of went back and followed through a little bit. And he's really all about the fandom and really all about the show. And that's great. Like, he's very positive with everything that happens. And again, I'm a huge fan. But his newest video that dropped an hour ago, he's got one more that just dropped. And then there's this one that dropped an hour ago. It's called Let's Not Destroy These Shows Before They Air. Power Rangers Appreciation Post. The future is bright. Cool. Yesterday, Power Rangers made a bunch of announcements that gave us really well put together and gave us a really well put together live stream. Somehow, there are some fans who are upset and calling for people's jobs. Oh, I didn't know that part because I don't think I heard that part yet. Everyone is entitled to their opinion. But with that said, if we want this brand to continue to succeed, then we must at least give it a chance. These next few years are going to be very important to Power Rangers and will decide the next 10 years. What are your thoughts? Cool. So I made a comment on this that said, I think, okay, let me go ahead and, before I read the comment, you have to hear what's happening. So this is the part that I'm really getting at. I'm not going to show the video. I will play the audio. But this is the part that really kind of stuck with me. That was a little raw. So I'll tell you what that is after I play this.
Remember, this is a business. They are paid to do a job, and then they have to make money off of that job. And of course,
not this part.
Morphin is always going to sell. You know, looking into some of these comments, someone said, if Austin St. John isn't in this, I'm out. Like,
this is the one.
Why? Austin St. John, even though he's amazing, they just brought him back a couple years ago for Grid Connection, and he is in his legal trouble right now. I don't think he can leave the country, bro. I think he had to get it approved just to do cons because they let you travel for work. If you're being investigated by the government, you're normally not even allowed to leave your state. But he did get approved to still do cons because that is how he makes his money. But with the legal situation that our homie is in, I don't think he can leave the country. I'm pretty sure like that is out of the question. So why you gonna be mad? Like, don't be mad at us. Don't be mad at Austin St. John. We don't know if he did it or not. It's just one of those situations. It is what it is. I hate that saying, but I don't know what to say about this. You can't be mad at Power Rangers, though. Why wouldn't you watch it? Like, you're boycotting because Austin St. John is in legal trouble and can't leave the country? Like, I don't even understand. Let's take a deep breath and let's watch this first. I've said many times, I don't care who's in it. I don't care what the suit's like. I don't care who directs it, who the producers are. Is this going to be good? That's all I care about. If you give me a good product, I could care two craps less who is in the show. Like, I don't expect them to bring back every single person. Do you know how hard it is to get a bunch of OG cast members all on the same page to fly out to New Zealand for a month, all on the same schedule, and they have to cancel all of their things with their family, all of their con appearances, anything. It's got to line up. They did their best, man, and they were able to give us basically all 5 colors of Rangers in a way, man. You get 2 black Rangers, you get a blue Ranger, you get the red Ranger, a yellow Ranger with Karen, and a pink with Kat. I think it's super cool. And then you get Trini Kwan's daughter added to the story, and she's a new character, but if they do that story right, it's going to be flippin' awesome, man. So yes, I'm all about it. I'm super excited to be a Power Rangers fan. And I think that instead of getting so upset, we need to chill out. Now, the next thing I saw people losing their
So, what was the next one?
mind over was the suits.
Oh, okay. I'm not worried about that. The suits, that's an opinion. I already said mine. They look like the Shazam family suits. So, let's break that down a little bit. Everything he says is valid. 100% makes sense. You know, the whole thing that happened with Austin last year, that's still not fully, you know, it's not been brushed away or whatever. That's still happening, from what the public knows. And that's, you know, that's that. And so that makes sense of why he can't leave the country. That doesn't mean he can't have like an ADR or he can't come in and like do a voiceover or whatever. Like, I think that would be cool if like maybe the beginning of the episode Zach is talking to him and we hear him, but he can't be there. Kind of like Jurassic Park 3, where Ellie is still in the, you know, in the States, whereas, you know, Alan is on the island and he's trying to call her, type of thing. Not that bad, but like they need to allude to Jason. So somehow, I think they would be respectful. Same thing with Tommy. Same thing with Kimberly. Now, what I don't like is the I don't understand. Like, I don't know why you're mad. Like, I don't think he's mad. I think he's just saying, you know, if Austin's not in it, I don't really want to watch it. That's taking somebody's words, just their written words, and not putting any feeling behind it. That's more you're implying the anger is there. You're right. It's not Austin's fault. It's not Power Rangers' fault, and it's not the fans' fault. And I think the thing is, I feel like Hasbro could find a way to dub him in somehow. A voice is better than nothing, right? They do that all the time. So, that being said, this fan who wrote that could just be a huge Jason Lee Scott fan and Austin St. John's fan. I am a huge Jason. He's my favorite Ranger of all time, followed by TJ from In Space. Those are my two favorite Rangers of all time, and then Wes. I've got a whole bunch that I love, but TJ and Jason are the two that I adore the most. Jason, I can tell you, is because he was the big brother figure I had growing up. You know, he was the one I tried to be like. TJ, for one, he was the first black leader of the Power Rangers, and there was always a heart to him. There was always like, we have to stay a team. He had the same characteristics that Jason had. He was just, I think, a little bit more on the charismatic side than Jason. Jason was very quiet, but but yeah. So it could be that. It could just he wants to see that, because we have to remember too, this could be the end of Power Rangers. This could be the final thing that we see of what we know as Power Rangers, of this universe that's been set up for 30 years, because they've talked about, and there's a project going on where they're going to go a darker route. They're rebooting the franchise. So in that reboot, it's not like the movie reboot where the show's going to keep going. From what we understand, Cosmic Fury's it. It's the end of the line. So we may not get another chance. And they've said it before. They said that with In Space. They said that with RPM. They said that with Cosmic Fury now. So it's happened 3 times. There could have been one more time. It's happened 3 times where they've said that it's going to meet its end, and it may not, but we have to keep that in mind, that this could be the end, and you're going to want to see your favorite Ranger back on the screen. And I know Fan Club said we got Grid Connection back in Beast Morphers. My issue with Grid Connection, and I've said this before, I don't know if it's on the channel, but I've said it on my podcast, that Grid Connection was a slap to the face to the character of Jason. And I say that because you took Sentai footage. You took a movie that people love. Don't get me wrong. It's a good Sentai movie. But you took that footage and your focus ended up becoming the Dino Charge characters because of that. And it really bothered me. And I know they try to set it up where he faces Goldar and he's like, I put the PowerPoint up, but he's like, that's not an army. This is an army. Flips the coin. They come out, and then he morphs, and that's it. At that point, then it becomes just a free for all, and there is really no big thing. They summon the Zords, and cool. My thing is, if you're gonna bring back the original Power Ranger, the original leader of the Power Rangers, you need to give a little bit more respect there, because also the way he shows up too is through the morphing grade, like a call through the morphing grade, which I think is cool, but then it's like, My co-host Anthony on TNA Nerdcast, he thinks it's a Jason from a different dimension, a different timeline. Who answered the call? Because we're starting to get into that multiverse thing with Power Rangers, and I'm like, I don't think so. I think it'd be a slap in the face to the fans. I think the fact that it needs to be the original Jason, and the fact he shows up. Well, I know who you are, but why did you call me? And then he's like, somehow he summons the other Dino Rangers. Like, it did not feel right. And you have to understand, that was a team up episode. It wasn't a 30th Mighty Morphin special. It wasn't a direct, this is Mighty Morphin. It was a 30th anniversary team up special. So to say Grid Connection, we got him 2 years ago in Grid Connection, I don't think that's a fair argument on that, because, and Fan Club's not the only one who said that. Somebody else has said that too. And I think it's like we get Dimensions in Danger with JDF, and that was nothing but a JDF special. Like they even though the Ninja Steel team was there, you had Wes, you had Kota, you had Gemma, and then, you get the rest of them. But it was definitely, this was a Tommy story. I mean, Tommy was copied by a robot, and he was not the big bad, but he was a bad guy. Tommy had to fight him by himself. He gets the Master Morpher. Falcon Zord comes back. He's the one who saves the day. Unlike Cole and Wild Force. I still hate that. But... and then goes home. What Jason does, he shows up halfway through the episode. Devin's like, yo, this is what's going on. And then they run out there. Tyler's rude as can be. Oh, you're Jason, the original Ranger. Wait, we don't have time for this. We have to go find. It's like, wait a minute. Without him, you wouldn't. Well, technically, because he's from a different timeline, that wouldn't be true. But it's like, bro, you should respect your elders, dog. So it's that, and then they go out there. He says some cool things to Goldar, but that's about it. And then it's like they fight, and then he has this. They will always, as long as there are people like you, there will always be Rangers. Da, da, da. And then he leaves, and it's like, you could have given him something greater. You could have ended it the same way. But in that fight, like even in looking at Overdrive, when Adam came back, Adam got an original fight. That whole fight was original. So it's like, it bothers me that Hasbro was like, oh, we're going to use this stock footage, this Sentai footage. And I'm just like, so my point with that is to say that is the reason why it's okay that he's not coming back. I think is a slap to the face. I don't think it's fair because it doesn't give the character a send off. A good send-off. But that doesn't take away from what he has said. He could not go out to New Zealand. There was no way possible. So that makes a lot of sense. So I'm not dogging on that at all. In fact, I agree with that. But I don't take that as a negative comment. I take it as like, you know what? I think I'm going to skip out on this one just because like it's not going to feel right. The person will probably change their mind closer to time. And I don't think that's a negative. I do think there are negative people out there. I've read the comments. I have not been a part of the comments, but I've been in the forums where people have said that. And I think I don't agree. I think, and it's because they're like, oh, the new stuff sucks. And I'm like, I love Dino Fury. Like, I love Dino Charge, but I love Dino Fury even more. Like, Zato is my boy. Speaking of the new suits, they do look like the Shazam kids. They look like the Shazam kids. And Dawson Ryder was like, where have I seen these suits before? And he couldn't think of it. And that's what it was. They are the Shazam kids. Come on, dude. That works. But yeah. So I just wanted to address that because I wasn't a huge fan of the way the fan club handled that question because I could tell he's trying to be positive, but at the same time it was a little bit forceful, and I was just like, you got to think about it from that fan's point of view. Like, what is going on? With everything going on with the DeFilippo triplets, we do need to band together, and we need to show that we are a Ranger family. We're the Ranger Nation. We have to show that. So even though there are going to be people complaining, we got to lead those people. We have to see where they're coming from and let them know, hey, man, you're being heard. I get it. I totally understand that you wanted Austin in this special. And I think that's the thing is like lead Lead by serving. That's something I'm learning a lot, is don't take these comments as like negative or get mad or upset. I didn't know people were asking for people's jobs, like being like, yeah, get them out of here. Because the people at Hasbro are doing their job. They're doing what they need to do. That being said, you know, there are going to be fans who don't like everything. They're going to be, and the production company won't hit everything. But that's okay. It's not the end of the world. We have to stop being that way. But we need to come together, and we need to serve each other. We need to lead each other. And the way a certain person has been doing it the past week is not the way we need to go about it. Kind of on this note, I did watch the Toy Bounty Hunters live stream last night with Teddy, Ted DeFilippo, who played Trey of Courage, and there was no leading there. There was no learning. There was legit, I want to be heard. I need to be heard, and you're not hearing me, so you're not getting it. And sadly, that's what it is. So, with that being said, I'm going to head out. Fan Club, I love you, man. I love your content. I can't wait to hear what else you got to say. I see the Green Ranger appears in Once and Always. I will read that. Hopefully you got the memo from Bat in the Sun that is not JDF. But yeah, so see you guys. Maybe. Am I out?